In circles, when we're finding the perimeter of a circle, we actually don't call it perimeter, we call it circumference. And there are a few vocabulary words and a few parts of a circle that you need to know before you can calculate the circumference. And we're going to practice finding those parts of a circle today. What I want you to do is write down number 1. And you're going to write diameter. You're going to spell it out completely. Diameter equals 18. Okay. Radius, I want you to spell it out completely so you are used to writing it. Radius is going to be half of the diameter. So 18 divided by 2 is 9. And our units for number 1 is inches. And make sure we label it. It's not squared because we're not finding area. We're not seeing how many squares cover the circle. We're finding the distance around the circle. So your radius is going to be half of your diameter every time. Okay, write down number 2. Spell out the word diameter. It only takes a couple seconds. Is 29 meters. So our radius is half of that. 29 divided by 2. I'm going to come down here and do it. You need to do this on your paper too. You're dividing 29 by 2. 2 goes into 9 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. And you have 1 left over. Add a decimal and 0 and bring it down. 2 into 10 is 5. So that would be 14 and a half meters. Okay? I don't know how to get rid of this little writing here. Okay, you better copy this down because I'm deleting it. Okay, now number 3, we're going the other way. We're starting with the radius. So write down number 3, radius equals 21 feet. What would you do to get the diameter? Remember, the radius is half of the diameter. So the diameter, you're going to multiply 21 times 2. And that's 42 feet. Okay. Write down number 4. Okay. They give you the radius. Spell it out. Radius equals 13 millimeters. Okay, so the diameter is all the way across, and that's going to be 26 millimeters. Number 5, 6, and 7, they give you a picture. So now that we know what these look like, we're going to start drawing pictures to help us. The circumference of each circle. When you find the circumference, remember we learned this on the Math Olympics. We found out that the circumference is 3 diameters. 3 is the number we were using for pi. Okay, we were using 3 for pi. So we want to, it's going to take 3 diameters to go all the way around. Now that is an estimate, that's not exact. So your circumference is going to be pi times diameter. So in this problem, circumference equals pi times diameter. And you just multiply that out. You're going to be multiplying 3 times the diameter. Okay, do that on your paper. You can pause it. You can copy mine. So it is about 78 meters all the way around that circle because it's 3 diameters. Okay, for number 6, circumference equals pi times diameter. What are we using for pi? We're using 3. So circumference is 3 times, and what is our diameter on this circle? 11. So that makes 33 inches around that circle. Last one for this, number 7. Okay, circumference equals pi times diameter. So the circumference is, what are we using for pi? 3. And what is our diameter? Well, it's not 4. Remember, diameter goes all the way across. They just gave you the radius. The radius equals 4. What is the diameter going to be? The diameter is all the way across. The diameter is 8. So 3 times 8, that's going to be 24 yards. Okay? If you were to have like a weather, like let's say there's rain, and that's usually green on the Doppler radar. Okay, the Doppler radar is going to be this little black line, and it moves in a circle all the way around, and it's tracking storms. That is called a radar, and that RAD for radar is the same RAD for radius. It has that same beginning. Okay, on number 8, they do not give us a picture. So what are we going to do? We'll draw one. On number 8 says the diameter is 31 millimeters. The diameter, does that go all the way across or halfway across? It's all the way across. So let's find out how far it is all the way around. Circumference equals pi times diameter. So that's pi, which we're using 3, times 31. Okay, 31 times 3 is 93 millimeters. Okay, you on your own are going to do number 9, and you're going to do number 10 on your own. I want to see a picture, and I want to see your work. Okay, let's go down to number 11. Use a calculator to find the circumference of each circle round to the nearest tenth. We are not going to be doing that because we're using we're using 3 for pi. So we have some more questions here. Number 11, circumference, which is the perimeter of the circle, equals pi times diameter. So circumference equals 3 times, now if you do 3 times 5, that means you don't really understand this formula because it's not 3 times the radius. And this is the radius. It wants 3 times the diameter, which is all the way across. What's all the way across this circle? Well, if 5 is halfway, what's 5 plus 5? 10. So it's 10 millimeters all the way across. So our circumference is about 30 millimeters. Look at number 12. Circumference equals pi times diameter. So that's 3 times, is this the diameter or is that the radius? They give us the diameter this time. So we can just do 14 times 3. 14 times 3. And there is our circumference. Okay, number 13. Did they give us the diameter? Circumference equals pi times diameter. Circumference equals 3 times, okay, be very, very careful because this is the tricky part. Are you going to take it times 18? No, because that's the radius. You've got to take it times the diameter, which is all the way across. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to add it together. 18 plus another 18, and that's 36. 36 times 3 is 108 inches. Okay, number 14, 15, and 16, they give you a picture. When they give you a picture about a shape, you better draw it out so that you can see it. Okay, R equals 22. Is that all the way across or halfway across? It's only halfway across. So what's all the way across? 22 plus 22 is 44. And now that we know our diameter, we can take pi times the diameter, which is 3 times 44. I don't know what that is. 44 times 3. Multiply it out on your paper. 132 centimeters. Okay, I've got to delete some stuff here. Okay, number 15. Again, they don't have a picture, so we will draw one. And the radius is 15. That's what R stands for, is radius. Is that all the way across or halfway? Radius is only halfway, so what is all the way across? 15 times 2, or 15 plus 15 is 30. So our circumference equals pi times diameter. That's going to be 3 times 30, which is 90 yards. Okay, you are going to do number 16 on your own. I want you to draw a picture for 16. Okay. Number 17, you're going to draw a picture for that. And number 18, you're going to draw a picture for that. Where it says use a calculator, no. I want you to use 3 for pi. Wavy lines mean it's about, not exact. So here you're going to use pi is approximately 3. Okay, so when I'm checking your paper before you take your quiz, I'm going to see numbers 9 and 10 solved. I'm going to see numbers 16, 17, and 18 solved. So that is 5 questions that you're responsible for before you take the quiz. Bye.